Hello my lovely, lovely Kings of War friends. It's time for a community update, and in fact, the very last community update from me, but more on that later. In the meantime, let's take a peek at what's been going on in the wonderful world of Kings of War!
Death by dragons.
We start with the sad news that self-styled Goblin King Mantic Spin Doctor and Crazy Bobby himself, Rob Berman, has left Mantic for a proper job. Rob was a huge figure at Mantic and one of their most friendly faces. His cheerful approach will be horrendously missed, but I'm sure we won't have heard the last of him, not least because his book The Rise of the Goblin King is on the way from Winged Hussar Publishing. I've been lucky enough to read a copy, and I've got to say, it's actually bloody good. As a side note, I've also read preview copies of both Mike Rossi and D.R. Chester's books, and they're both brilliant! A fantastic continued step up for Kings of War fiction. What we really need is Winged Hussar to actually, publish them? I was super happy to see the increasingly handsome Carl Preslinski return to Mastercrafted with some video content. It's fair to say he had a mixed reaction to his coverage of a US Invitational tournament and questions to the tournament going population, but frankly, if we all had the same opinion about stuff, it would be a very boring world, and knowing Kyle as well as having talked to him about it, it's fair to say that most dissenters either didn't understand what he was getting at or actually didn't watch the whole video. In any case, it's amazing to have him back, and I literally cannot wait to see him back on our screens, where he'll no doubt be talking about the Super Deluxe Ultra Fighting Edition Big Red Book version 3.5 of the Mantic rulebook in place of Clash of Kings update this year. This will be the version of the game for the next 2 years until version 4 and contains all sorts of goodies including siege rules, small game rules, huge game rules, and no Twilight Kin, because they're being entirely rewritten ready for a new model range release. Oh, be still my beating heart. Of course, with Clash of Kings comes new sets of rule clarifications, which puts a huge burden on our wonderfully hard-working Rules Committee. So at long last, they put up an official Rules Committee Facebook group where they can post definitive rule clarifications. And of course, unfortunately, their first rules clarification has upset some of our more sensitive rules-focused friends in the Kings of War, let's face it, fanatics community, who, not noticing the rule has been unchanged in 2016, decided to make an extremely public post on the Facebook page, confusing everyone even more and upsetting everyone even more. Definitely a public post rather than a private message was a sensible way to address your own confusion. My suggestion is that we take a breath. Remember that in actual play, these rules come up literally never, and let's say they do. You either work it out as friends because you are playing a game, or if you can't and you're in a tournament, ask the TO to make a decision and clarification on their own because it's their tournament and move on with your lives. Good God, the cardinal rule of Kings of War is don't be a dick. And with that, we bring to close this community update, which is my last one. You will have divined from the extended timescales between updates that I'm sadly struggling to find the time thanks to a somewhat busy life, and I would rather focus the time I do have on other cool video projects for you. I'm sure I won't be able to resist shoving my own inflated smug opinions down your neck in some form, so maybe the hobby and chat vlog will return, or maybe a live stream. I'm not really sure that's for me, to be honest, and I just look at like 4 people watching and feel sad about my life, but we'll see. In the meantime, I wanted to thank each and every one of you for watching, laughing along with me, and leaving your very kind comments, and even occasionally your very unkind comments. I don't care. And I'll see you in the next video. Consider yourselves updated. Toodaloo!